I said it on the last episode. I'm gonna say it here.
Oh, fine.
This is the best Ultimate books. Fight me.
Yep.
Fight
100%.
me.
Friends, a year ago, a diabolical mastermind known as the Maker, an alternate universe version of Reed Richards, invaded a brand new universe and systematically prevented heroes from becoming superheroes. In 1 year, he will return. The Ultimates are assembling. Here we are. Welcome, friends, to Ultimate Countdown. Okay, well, with that, let's move on to Ultimate X-Men. Ro or Mark, take it away.
I'm bad at recaps. I'm gonna let Ro recap. I'll just
All
throw
right,
my
Ro,
opinion
you
in.
talk.
I'm really
Mark,
bad
you
at.
shut up.
I'm bad at recapping.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm gonna eat pickles.
All right.
Yeah.
So things have been picking up with Ultimate X-Men 8 and 9. So now we have an influencer that's taking note of everything. We're learning more about the children of the atom. So like now we're understanding like, okay, hold on. Are they responsible, for people now getting their powers? We had the whole thing with Homeboy who was the Shadow King. He's been taken out of commission, but now he starts to come back into play as well. But I guess the real key thing here with like 8 and 9, which we'll get to, is that we were introduced to one other character. Again, I'm really bad with the names. She has like a kendo stick or whatever. So apparently her and her brother, they came across some suitcase that reeked. When they opened up the suitcase, apparently it's just like a bunch of like chopped up body parts. Within those chopped up body parts, there was like a mark of the children of the atom, which the other cast members have recognized. Somebody from the Children of the Atom Council, they went over to said character and her brother, and they said, "Hey, here's a non-disclosure agreement. We're gonna take this. Keep your mouth shut." Of course, what does this little kid, again, because these are all kids,
Yeah.
she goes and fucking posts on the internet. It's a hashtag, it goes viral. So now more people who didn't really know about the Children of the Atom, now they know. So now they have a bunch of questions and a bunch of attention thrown their way. Because this information was leaked by this kid, they may be getting killed. So then now there's all this other attention on Hisako as well. Everybody's starting to pay more attention to these mutants. Everybody's starting to realize, hey, there's something shady going on. And also, Ben has been asking about a tie back to how does this relate to the Ultimate Universe? Yes. So apparently, these guys are connected to one of the Makers Council members.
Okay.
So he's been trying to keep everything hush hush, but now it's the floodgates are open. Everything's going viral.
Who is it? Omega Red?
No, it's not Omega Red. It's good thing I had this saved.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, I'm bad with the names. I'm learning them. One thing I like about the Ultimate books is they at least give you in the beginning everyone's faces and their names.
Yep.
And their code names. This is
love it.
I love it so much.
I love that.
Except for the
Sun
two
Emperor,
people, which is
Sun Emperor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So he hasn't popped up yet, but I can only assume he's not going to be happy. So all that is happening, and the big stinger for number 9, which me and Mark were just like raving about. Mae Storm, we got a little bit of her history in the previous issues. Apparently, things were always rocky with her and her parents, but things came to a head when, her powers finally manifested. So since then, Mae Storm has kind of been on her own, kind of hanging out more of Hisako and her family. We find out that, Mae Storm has been keeping tabs on her parents. And she found out that her dad is engaging in some shenanigans with another one of the mutants who is also around her age. Yeah.
Shenanigans. Just shenanigans.
But no, they're not sleeping together. Let's get that out the way.
No.
Dad is spending time with somebody that is around her age, who also goes to the same school as her, or like kind of roams in those same circles. So that was one of the
strange.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that leads to a confrontation with Mae Storm and this other character, Surge, because she has electrical powers. I was gonna say this is like our first major fight, but it's not our first major fight.
No.
But it's one of the key major fights that happen. So this is like one of the ones where we see Peach Momoko really get into her action bag. That was really fun, by the way. During that fight, we learned that, and Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, the Children of the Atom have they're taking random people, experimenting on them until they get abilities. Not latent, but until they get abilities.
Yeah, it's weird because like the Children of Adam thing is like that's the thing I'm most curious about because one, I think Children of Adam, I'm thinking like Age of Apocalypse, all this other stuff going on. There's so many moving parts because you see different like interactions with this cult. Now that it's trending on social media in the actual like comic universe, like you have some of the kids questioning their parents, like, "Hey, are we in a cult?" People are saying, you know, it's weird. Don't you think it's weird that they take our blood and they do experiments on us? You don't find that weird? Isn't that kind of culty? And they're like, no. They're just outsiders. They're closed-minded. They don't get it.
Yeah.
So they're experimenting on not only like regular, not everyone in the cult is a mutant. And I think they're using it as a way to find and draw out, but I don't know if they're able to instill powers or if they're trying to hopeful that people have them. That's the one thing that's kind of like blurred right now is what exactly they're doing. So I don't know if they're just doing all this stuff until the powers actually show up that are latent, or if they're actually able to like instill abilities into people.
Yeah, because and it goes back to the suitcase because we can assume what we found in that suitcase was just somebody they were experimenting with. It didn't go the best. So
I like the part where like they deleted the post and he's like, that doesn't matter. He's like, it's like I deleted it instantly, and then everyone already had the screenshots, and then they even noticed the Children of Adam symbol on the skin, and then the 3-digit number, which the surgeon on them, they've seen this before, so like, oh, it's kind of like Nico and like all this other stuff that was going on. We've seen that numbering before. They're a part of the cult, and so it's coming to a we're 9 issues in, and I'm just like, I feel like we're just on that cusp of just like everything just exploding. We're gonna get we're gonna get an info dump in one of the upcoming issues where it's just gonna be, here's everything, or at least a good amount to clear up any confusion with the comic.
Like, and again, I'm gonna say it right now. Like, reading these last 3 issues, I'm sorry, it's giving me what I'm hoping for Black Panther, the drama, the messiness, and then now we got action thrown into it. Like, I felt stress, but stress in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, this is good, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, I said it on the last episode, I'm gonna say it here.
Oh, fine.
This is the best Ultimate books. Fight me.
Yep.
Fight 100%. Me. Thank you, Mark. I'm not alone on this island.
Well, we talked about it in the beginning where like I was the only one kind of reading the X-Men one, and I was around issue 5, and I was like, guys, like, I don't know what's going on in this comic. I don't know if I can recommend it to anyone because I don't know what's going on. And then by 6 and 7, when it finally like you're done with the introductions, and you're finally getting into like the bread and butter of it, I was like,
so it's a book that's better to be binged.
Like I said before we started recording, like we're 9 issues in. Like that's why I mentioned the trade coming out, but that's only 6 issues. I was like, nah, if you binge 1 through 9,
I think
you'll be happy.
As the wonderful host who came up with the idea for this podcast for all of us to read the books together, haha, haven't read this one. But
worst book.
You are. Yeah, I know. You're selling me on this, and so now I will devote the time to it.
Look at the cover on the screen. The artwork, like, is just like I think that's one of the things I brought up last time we recorded. Peach is writing and doing the art for this.
Yeah, I'll say this is like what I like about Ultimate X-Men is that while I am enjoying it, it's a very uncomfortable read. Especially with this last issue, it's very uncomfortable. Like, I'm so happy that Peach put that in there. Just like, oh, we're not sleeping together. Because if Peach did not put that in there, I would have been questioning editorial at Marvel. Like, you have these motherfuckers doing what? But yeah, I'm happy that was established. But this is a book that if you're trying to go there, like if you're trying to get into like your spiritual, kind of like depressive bag, but you're also trying to have a good time, oh, you have to read this. But binge it. Don't month to month. I can't recommend it. But if you're trying, if you want to go from issues 1 to 9 or 1 to 10, this is gonna be a ride, and it's gonna be a good ride.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I would say I do like also how Ultimate X-Men always introduces new characters, like with issue 8 and the was it Mame or whatever, the live streamer. They all every time they introduce new characters in this, that I'm like, I feel like it's a work of fiction, it's a comic book, but like it's realistic with how they interact with their phones and how they're always like on social media. That it's like there's like a level of like realism to the characters, and I don't want to say grounded because I don't like that terminology in comics, but there's a
now.
Yeah, they act how you would expect someone, regardless of what timeline, that age frame. Because I was like the live streaming one where she's like, I'm gonna find #Armor Girl, and I was like, I also like that. There's also a level where like the public, to an extent, from like a social media trending standpoint, know of the people of powers and of this cult, but they don't fully know who they are or what their code names are, this and that. So it's kind of like one of those things. It reminds me of Smallville when they had the Blur for like 2 seasons instead of Superman. That's what it reminds me of.
Or it's like the Flash where he was the Streak for like 2 episodes. Yeah. Or Arrow the Hood.
The Hood.
Yeah. I know. I tickled Rose sensibilities there for that one. I
don't.
But listen, listeners.
Hey, Mark, cut it out. I see you. Cut it out. Mark, cut it out. All right,
listeners.
You know how that show ended.
Drop some comments. Let us know what you think of Ultimate X-Men. Look, I want to see all these books fly off the shelves, and I'm glad that you're selling me on it. I'm glad that it's picking up, and so I'm looking forward to reading it.
Hell yeah, Peach! Listen, hey, I'm so happy because I was a little worried. Yeah, everybody was kind of sleeping on Ultimate X-Men, but it's good to see that every single month when I check the sales, Ultimate X-Men is right there at the top.
I was gonna say all the Ultimate books are like selling. I just want to know all those people before all this started that were like, we don't need Ultimate Universe. I'm like, where are they? They're not buying the book, obviously, but
like, hey, listen, this is the X-Men that I'm happy staying with.
Sure,
I'm reading X-Men. This is X-Men for me. It's fresh. It's new. It's giving me a lot of different themes, and every single time
uncanny.
I read,
I said it's uncanny.
I see what you did there. It's uncanny. Yep. Right. So, hey, this is it for me. I'm happy. I got my X-Men for the month.
Great. Well, let's talk about the actual best book.
Oh, here we go again. Oh, here we go.
I was like, we're going back to X-Men again?
No, right? Yeah, we can go back to X-Men.
You messaged the whole group.
So, Mark, let's talk about Ultimate X-Men issue 9.
No, back and board.
Let's do a page by page read along.
No, yes, please. Let's do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.